You're gonna be interacting with a lot of different people. So how can you be self-aware and aware of the environment around you and adapt to the needs and help people's strengths and weaknesses work together to cultivate a healthy environment of growth?
Those are two things you mentioned, emotional intelligence and integrity. Because I think both are extremely important. When we're in the operating room, we're going to, in your role, it's likely that you'll run into other reps, maybe in the same operating room, maybe in the hallway, you'll see competitors. You'll meet other people, and being new, it's likely that, you like the rest of us are going to make mistakes. And in those moments where we don't know the answer to a question, when we may have, done something, not exactly right, how to adjust, how to read the room, be a person of integrity, but tell the truth, and then find the help when needed. I think those are two things that are key. It's true in especially pharma, in oncology, where I am as well, because we're selling very sophisticated treatments that are groundbreaking, and yet there's competitors out there as well, and it's very important that we don't misrepresent as well. Emotional intelligence, maybe we could just kind of talk about that a little bit, because we hear that word thrown around a little bit, but it's something I think that a lot of new reps may not understand. People who are just thinking about going into sales, what do you mean? Maybe just for your average peer, your another college student, what is emotional intelligence? How would you define that, or how would you describe what that includes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of different components to it depending on what you do decide to do. Like, I think there's a lot of stuff out there. I was actually looking stuff up about it this week. So I say it a lot, and like I said it a lot in different interviews, and I was talking to my dad about it. And he was like, "You should probably like look some stuff up about it, or like read a book about it." So I'm actually thinking about reading a book about emotional intelligence. I was actually going to order it later today. So there's a lot of people that define it a lot of different ways. I think the unprofessional Dylan Folk's definition of emotional intelligence, I think a lot of it is self-awareness in your environment, and how do you use people's strengths and weaknesses in that environment to cultivate the environment that you're looking for, which is most likely always going to be a healthy one, whether that's the OR, whether that is within your personal team, or like you said, towards your competitors in the hallway. You're gonna be interacting with a lot of different people. So how can you be self-aware and aware of the environment around you and adapt to the needs and help people's strengths and weaknesses work together to cultivate a healthy environment of growth? So a couple of examples that people have given me, one of them was Kevin. He was like, so sometimes you're not gonna be prepared. Your schedule's filled, and you have to go into an office, meet with the surgeon. You have to go into his office, and you don't know anything about him. You haven't had a chance to prepare, but you get in there and you walk in. You see that maybe their desk is messy, right? And then you look at the wall and you see they're holding the fair. Maybe they're a big game hunter or something like that, or they like to fish. And he's like, so you're walking and you see a picture of a family, right? They got 3 or 4 kids. And he's like, so you walk in, you're aware of your environment. You're aware that you're a salesperson. So there's probably some walls up that are going to be up on their end because you are trying to sell them something. So you walk in and you take all 3 of these things, and it's like, okay, their desk is messy. They're a big game hunter. So like, how can I use this? And we can talk and we can break down some walls, and after we get to know each other. And then when I'm selling, I see that their desk is messy, and the last thing that they need is another thing on their plate. But you don't, there's not a ton of questions that you can ask, or there's only so many questions that you can ask to understand that. And sometimes you have to uncover an unmet need, and identify things like that in your environment, and being able to add value and cultivate a healthy environment, whether that's an office or an OR. I think a lot of it comes down to awareness and ability to personality match.
Wow. I like that. That is really good.